This is the first time ever that a fox has outsmarted a rabbit. Let me explain how this is even possible. In a forest not too far away, deep within a cozy burrow, lived two rabbit brothers, Rusty and Cotton.
Ow.
Rusty was the older brother, brave, but extremely reckless. Cotton, well, he was clever, but extremely nervous. One night, as the moon shone its silvery light over the farmer's field, the brothers decided to sneak out for some midnight snacks. Specifically, they were after the juicy carrots that the farmer had just planted. As they made their way through the tall grasses, a low, menacing chuckle echoed through the night. Out from the shadows stepped a sly fox with a cunning grin. Ow-da-da-da-da-da! It was Felix, and he was known throughout the forest for his trickery. Well, well, Felix drawled, his eyes gleaming like golden coins. What do we have here? Two little rabbits come to steal my dinner. Cotton let out a squeak of surprise. Rusty, he stammered, his heart pounding like a drum solo. But Rusty, never one to back down from a challenge, puffed up his chest and retorted, "Don't be scared, Cotton. We don't need your stinky breath to protect us." He squared up to Felix, ready to throw down. But Felix just burst out laughing, his amusement echoing through the field. "Please," he said between chuckles, "if I wanted to eat you, I wouldn't have announced myself." And with that, he vanished into the darkness, leaving the rabbits in the moonlight. For a moment, Rusty and Cotton were stunned. Then Cotton, ever the voice of reason, whispered, "Rusty, this feels wrong. What if he sets traps?" But Rusty was already halfway to the carrots. "Don't worry, Cotton," he called back, his voice laced with confidence. "No fox, no farmer, no problem." Little did he know, Felix had left a trap near the burrow that would soon ensnare him. The next night, Rusty and Cotton returned to the field, this time with a sack to carry their loot. As they approached the carrots, they saw Felix waiting for them, a sly grin on his face. "Ah, my little rabbit friends," he said, his voice dripping with false sweetness. "Ready for another midnight snack?" Before the rabbits could respond, Felix dashed forward, knocking the sack right out of Cotton's paws. "Hey, what's the big idea?" Rusty demanded, hopping closer to the fox. "I propose a deal," Felix replied, his grin widening. "You two keep stealing veggies from the farmer's field, but share with me." Cotton and Rusty exchanged uneasy glances. The deal wasn't exactly what they wanted, but considering the traps, it was probably their best option. So they slowly nodded, agreeing to the terms, and so began their unlikely partnership. With Felix's guidance, the rabbits managed to stay one step ahead of the traps, gathering plenty of food for themselves and the fox. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Cotton was still terrified and constantly on edge, while Rusty grew increasingly suspicious of Felix's motives. One night during their raid, Cotton noticed something peculiar. Felix was limping slightly, and there was a bandage wrapped around his tail. "You're hurt," Cotton exclaimed, rushing to the fox's side. "What happened?" Felix snapped, his voice sharp. "None of your business," he hissed, trying to brush past the rabbit. Rusty, who had followed them, saw the old scar beneath Felix's limp. It was a trap injury. Suddenly, it all made sense. Felix wasn't helping them out of kindness. He was scared of the traps just like they were. In fact, he was more afraid than they were. Before the rabbits could press him further, a loud bark shattered the night. The farmer's dog had arrived, and the three friends scattered in different directions. Cotton, paralyzed by fear, froze in his spot. "We're gonna die," he cried. But before the dog could reach him, Felix grabbed Cotton by the scruff of his neck and pulled him toward a nearby fox den. The dog, unable to fit in such a small space, could only bark furiously from outside. Safe for now, the three friends huddled together in the dark den. Finally, when the dog's barking had faded away, Cotton spoke. "Why did you save me?" he asked Felix. The fox looked away, his voice barely a whisper. "Last year I got caught in one of these traps," he admitted. "The other foxes, they just laughed. They said I was weak." Cotton and Rusty were silent. They understood Felix's pain. "Being different made you a target." Rusty was the first to break the silence. "Well, you're our kind of weak," he said with a grin. Cotton, feeling brave, offered the fox a carrot from his sack. Felix hesitated, then took it. The brothers stayed with Felix for the rest of the night, sharing stories and laughter. For the first time in a long time, Felix felt like he belonged somewhere. That night, As the sun peeked over the horizon, Old Tortoise poked his head into the den. "Humph," he grunted. "Took you 3 long enough?" With that, he disappeared into the forest, leaving the 3 friends to ponder the meaning of true friendship and trust. Now, as the days passed, the unlikely trio continued to outsmart the farmer, all thanks to their newfound trust in each other. The rabbits learned that foxes aren't always sly and cunning, and the fox learned that even a rabbit can be brave. And so, their adventure came to an end. But the memories they created would last a lifetime. Now, if you like this story, make sure to leave a like and comment below. Your support means everything to us. Till next time, remember, true friendship can blossom even in the most unexpected places.